the scene as the actors act, the singers sing, and the players play out the adventures of Castle Falkenstein. You have been cordially invited to a world of wonder and intrigue, of steam and invention, of magic and mysteries, where nobles wave playbills at scientists who deep in thought nearly trip over pixies delivering news to tinkerers beneath the stage of New Europa. Sit back and enjoy the scene as the actors act, the singers sing, and the players play out the adventures of Castle Falkenstein.
I'm not muted, it's an update. Throwing off all of my things and
Now you're muted.
no, I'm muted for you on Zoom, but everybody else can hear me. Everybody could hear me say that I was muted on Zoom, but not on the stream. Yeah, so yay for slobs updates. I'm Simon at Wandering the M. Welcome to Castle Falkenstein, our third season. I'll be playing Edwin Thayer, the professor of criminology, and also potentially criminal or something. Hi! Before we begin, let's just thank all of our sponsors, Mage and Press. Thank you to Found Familiar. On both sites, you can use code WanderingDM to get 15 or 10% off your purchases, respectively. If you also want to check out the Kickstarter by Mage and Press, Conspiracy in the Stars, they've already been funded, but now they're in a bunch of stretch goals, so you have additional material coming out with along with Conspiracy in the Stars. You have, I think right now you have like 2 adventures being published as soft covers in addition to their base adventure. A dice case, Dice Vault by Wormwood, a set of dice by Level Up Dice, who are also our partners here on Wandering DM. Haha, segue. And also thank you to Found Familiar, great coffee company. Check them out, foundfamiliar.com, and check out Roll20 at roll20.net. It is the virtual tabletop that we use here on all of our streams on Wandering DM. And thank you to Thuanite for the new overlay with bigger frames. And I'll leave the mic up to all of you, friends. So good to see you again on this Monday evening. How are you doing? And who are you playing? Let's start with Adriana.
Hi everyone, I'm Adriana, and today I'll be playing Ekaterina von Stein, an inventor and definitely a human.
That tracks. Next is Kenny.
Hello. Today is great. I am playing Amor Protego. Could be Jaser Firit Ragosian, exiled from the fairy realm, but who knows?
We'll see about that. Pooja, you're up.
Hi, I'm Pooja, and I'm playing Elise St. Pere, a young opera ingenue, and totally not a witch.
We'll skip over our host for just a quick second and go to Deirdre.
Well, hey, y'all. You know me. I'm at Turgeon on Twitter, Praxorathas see me around on Twitch, and I get to play La Contessa Lucrezia Sofia Fioravante, who is just having the absolute best time in Venice and is totally not a spy for the Italian government whatsoever.
Uh-huh. And lastly is our host. Gracious host, Chris, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you, Simon. I am Chris Geary, and I am totally not your host for the evening. Oh, no, wait, I am. Anyway, let us think back to our last episode. Who here remembers our literary excursion as we parsed the poor Latin translation from whom the Contessa assumed was one Benjamin Talbot of the Promethean Society? Yes. Much puzzling was had, as they found not just a possible threat which excited Ekaterina, but yes, they figured out that there was a reference to a Renaissance poet by the name of John Donne. All of these clues lead back to one person. Well, or one title of one person. And that is what we are about to try and venture forth and find this evening. One Rolft von Gribben and the secrets of fire that burns underwater. who in the party remembers where we left off?
Leaving the Teatro San Luca after a pleasant conversation with our very dear friends Brix and Swizzle.
Ah, yes. The dwarven duo. Were they much help?
Enough.
I
Enough.
learned a lot.
But did you learn something that would help you find your, well, query?
TBD?
So, for the audience, let's rehash the clues in which you've received to date. The first was received by Ekaterina in the theater the night of, the play, opening night. Actually, it was last night, the closing night for the Prima Donna, but opening night for season 3. Ekaterina, what was that clue?
It was a note, a envelope left on the seat of where we were supposed to meet a so-called Willoughby with a key that we figured out was cold iron. The symbol of the Promethean Society as the stamp, and a note in Latin, which we realize was partially butchered, but on purpose.
Maybe. Excellent. And where was the key made?
England.
Yes.
Because it was bland.
Yes. Just like their seasoning. What was the next clue that was found?
The next clue, sorry, go ahead.
No, an address.
I was going to say, yeah, the next clue that we linked to it was at the description of the cold iron. Elise remembered a certain person who had been mentioned by the aforementioned Brix and Swizzle, a Rolft von Gribben, and we had an address for Rolft von Gribben, but the address was some sort of a puzzle because the physical address did not exist in Venice. So we were our group had decided to try to solve that puzzle to find Rolft von Gribben and ask, at that point, we assumed was a he, about the cold iron key.
Indeed. So we have an address, we have a key, we have a note that was deciphered later. There was a crest that gave hints as to where the clues came from for Ekaterina. What next did you find?
The clue in the Latin note?
Well, there was the poet, yes, and the poem itself.
We did sort of eliminate the church aspect, like the basilica and all that I remember.
You eliminated two of the basilicas.
We determined that the likely location is a buoy or some sort of submersible.
Yes. I think before that we found out that Rolft von Gribben was a title, not a given name, sometimes used with a "the" in the front. And we met with a interesting / questionable gentleman in a hat. And I guess that was before we went to. I wrote something down about Agrippa Gallo, and I don't know why I wrote.
Agrippa Gallo was the gentleman in the hat.
Was the gentleman in the hat? Okay, so that was the person we met who seemed very interesting and a little sketchy.
Agrippa Gaio was actually a contact of Amor's who had the silks.
Yeah. It was a
Oh, sorry.
Pasquino.
Pasquino
Kino is the
Winkler.
guy in the hat.
Pasquino
Pasquino.
Winkler. Yes.
And we found out that the person who wrote the letter was well trained in calligraphy, that they probably learned it later in life, and that there was actually gold in the ink, and it was some very high quality ink. So we might be looking for someone of means.
And then we went to Brix and Swizzle, and that's where we found out about the buoy. And
That the current title of Rolft van Griden, the current holder of the title Rolft van Griden, is not a dwarf.
well, it's a woman, and dwarves can't be women because they'd be fae, but also she apparently handles cold iron, and so there's a big question mark there.
And,
Question mark, female dwarf, question mark.
Handles cold iron, maybe fae?
The likely reason for the title rather than a direct name is that the Unseelie have a desire to target them.
Yeah, but in Brix and Swizzle, it could be anyone who passed the trials could take the title. So it could be someone who is even just human.
But yeah, you're right, Amor. We do have now the possibility to juggle with that. We could be sent on a mission to track this person down so that the Unseelie could find them.
So there's a complexity here for Amor.
Do tell.
So after the interaction with Brix and Swizzle, Amor is a lot more on edge. And you see them looking over their shoulder a lot more and just trying to track all of the people around them. And so this is kind of how they're behaving right now.
Interesting.
If that is obvious, the Contessa is going to walk up next to her dear friend and link arms with him and just kind of like pat his hand as it's resting on her arm and just say, and lean in and say, don't look so obvious when you're looking around. It draws attention. Just, look at the corner of your eye. Who are we looking for?
I do not know. There was a something that happened in the fair realm that ejected me here, and I'm afraid that the Unseelie are here for me too.
That sounds like a conversation we should not be having in...
I know, but...
in the public. We have a perfectly good bar at my villa.
And Amor nods emphatically and takes the Contessa's arm and pats her hand and just says, merci, I don't know what I would do.
I'm sure you'd figure it out. That was why we are friends. And we have so many new friends that can help us.
They seem very capable.
So, and she'd kind of glance over her shoulder and like make eye contact with probably the professor and be like, are you joining the party tonight? Apparently the bar is open and the beverages are free-flowing at the palazzo.
I don't see why I shouldn't. Or can't, for that matter. I mean, so long as I'm in a state to give my second lecture tomorrow.
Is it not in the afternoon?
Yes, but
Oh, you have plenty of time to sober up in the morning then.
I guess I do. Well, let's drink ourselves into a stupor.
That is an option. Ekaterina, are you and the good Miss Saint Pair joining us?
Elise will turn to Ekaterina, but then say, I do hope you will join Ekaterina, dear, but I sure would love to.
I don't see why not. Spending time with new friends, free-flowing alcohol that I may or may not partake in.
Ooh.
I would love to.
Always the best part. Friends, food, good wine. And that usually leads to the answers that we need. So, and she kind of just like walks towards the edge of one of the canals and, gestures for one of the gondoliers that is nearby to see about getting a ride back to the palazzo. Why walk?
Do we all
Okay.
fit in one gondola?
We should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get up to 6 people in a gondola, I think.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
have no context of how big gondolas are in real life.
Something about that. So, at this point, it's not super late, but it is, rounding to dinner. And you've met with Brix and Swizzle.
Mhm.
You have a number of details to go over, and threads that connect between many of them. So, are you dining at the palazzo as well? Or is that just where you're going to retire?
I think the Contessa would offer to do dinner at the palazzo because if we wish to talk more unobserved, that might be slightly better.
Okay.
I think, Amor would say, if we want to dine out, that is fine. It may give us a moment to see and survey if we recognize anyone around us.
Mhm.
Supposed to be followed.
I can get into more detail a little bit later.
Ooh, more intrigue.
Intrigue. But if we could be the unwitting folks who expose a hidden, perhaps, dwarf, I'm all for making sure that there's no one on our tail.
The cafe, then.
D'accord.
Sure.
Cafe it is.
The Cafe Florian, then?
Contessa doesn't eat at or drink at the other one, so.
No, but I have no idea where you eat. So.
In a way, it makes not lack of choice just makes things easier.
That work? It's a
You don't
great
have to-
place to be seen and to see.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Speaking of when Amor mentioned us being followed, I think Edwin would take a peek around, try to see if someone's actively tailing them.
Okay.
Or eavesdropping.
Fair enough. Is this just a passive thing, or is this something that Edwin would be playing a card for?
That is a very good question. Would Edwin have a card? Would that I have a card? Actually, I'm gonna burn one of my lucky 7s on that.
Okay.
And
So
my
which
perception is
skill
great.
are you going to use? Okay, perception.
Yep.
Excellent.
So that's going to be 15 then. As you kind of slyly try to scan the area and look for anyone who might be eavesdropping, you don't seem to notice anyone paying extra close attention. There's one, I don't know, person that seems to be sizing someone up as if they're like a pickpocket. You've seen that kind of behavior before. It's nothing to alert yourself to. They didn't zero in particularly on your group or not. They're kind of taking stock of everyone and looking for whomever might be the best target for them. But when he glances your way, he doesn't seem to linger long. You think he may have noticed that you had noticed him.
Ah, crap.
And moves along. But otherwise, you're pretty sure it's clear.
Okay.
Which is good news.
Well, for now, Amor, we are not followed.
Thank you for looking.
No problem. Unless it's some invisible fae. In this case, I have no clue what to do.
At the mention of that, Amor kind of bites their lower lip. I don't know.
Can fae turn invisible?
Would Amor note that from
Yes.
their, yes, absolutely, yes, emphatically.
They very much would know that.
Okay.
In fact, their little friend that was a squirrel for a while was known for disappearing when they did not want to be seen.
Yeah, so what is sorcery? What card would that be?
Diamonds.
Diamonds.
Considered mental.
I think Amor would say their magic is very strong. I don't and they would describe what it looks like. The air kind of waves like heat.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're gone.
Interesting.
Would that kind of magic look different to Elise as a practitioner of magic?
Yes. The description in which Amor gives is not one that seems to track with your experiences with making things disappear. It's a little bit more chameleon-esque in your experience than one that would give like a distortion or obfuscation of sorts. So there's something that is Fey magic, as it's described, is you get this distinct feeling that it is different.
Okay. I'll share that tidbit with the group that that kind of a magic, that kind of use of magic is very different from what I've encountered in my experience. But I don't know if it's because of the source or what, but it is fascinating that there are different ways, what seems like vastly different ways to do the same thing.
Vastly different indeed.
Creatures are born with it. They do it reflexively, like a muscle.
Yeah. Whereas, while there is an innate component to what I do, so much of it is also learned and passed down through the generations. I don't know if birth alone would be enough to get you to the same level of practice.
Coffee then?
Coffee? I thought we were going for something stronger.
I mean, it is dinner.
Oh, yes.
Dinner.
Well, dinner first. My bad. I
Come
think
on.
Simon needs actual coffee
There you go.
and not dinner, but Edwin
Simon,
would
you
need
always make me want coffee, and it's night. And why do you do this to me?
because I go to sleep at 3 in the morning.
Oh no.
Yeah, I have to be online to work at 7. So
Yeah, not in
So-
my case.
Anyway,
You all have arrived at the Cafe Florian with interesting conversations as you pass. You are seated where the Contessa typically chooses to sit, unless you had a different idea this time.
Should we sit in the back? Maybe have a whole view of the place.
Inside or outside? That is the question.
I am curious if the odd gentleman we spoke with the other this morning is still there.
Well, he's in the other one, and you can. I'm not walking in the door of that.
No, we can sit outside, I think.
So sit outside the Cafe Florian and spy on the Cafe Grand Cafe Quadri. I support this. So, in that case, then let us make ourselves comfortable.
all right.
Right. Outside? Inside?
Outside, I think, if we want to spy on the Grand Cafe Quadri.
Yeah, if you're going to try and look across the plaza, which is quite large, in order to spy upon them, which isn't, forever away, but you wouldn't be able to do that from inside through the windows. There'd be too many distractions.
Right.
But if you want to keep an eye on the inside, we can sit so that we are also facing the door of the Cafe Florian.
I think outside should work fine. We get to see who comes and goes in Cafe Florian.
All right, then. Then we shall sit and here, and she kind of just picks the table that she thinks is going to be the best line of sight for everybody, and gestures to one of the waiters and be like, uno litro di vino locale rosso per piacere, e 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vase. Mille grazie, signore.
They will nod and scamper off.
Make that the same for me.
You want an extra liter of wine for yourself?
Why not?
And if I'm not mistaken,
5 glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
cups. Maybe Professor Thayer is gonna juggle for us.
Oh, a man of many talents, no?
I mean, it is possible.
I
He's very impressive so far.
could well juggle for you indeed. In order to do that, I would need to receive $7 in donations and unlock and unlock performance. You have until the end of the season.
Well, on that note, because this is a great segue, we've gotten 2 donations, right, Simon?
Just
Or
the
is
one.
it just the
It's
one?
a sub.
Oh, the sub.
So
yeah.
it just goes for
But we've also crossed the $10 mark again, which means that we have another lucky 7 to give out.
that is true.
As well as after the break, we have another Deuces Wild that will continue. So for anyone who has not used it, I know a number of you used it at the end of last game. Use it before our break, and it will be refreshed again. And so let me roll really quickly. 1d5. And this time we're going to go... we're going to start with elites and go clockwise.
You're not using the name wheel spinny thing?
Oh, yes, I have the wheel. Why am I doing this? I forgot about
that
it.
wheel.
I'm going to spin the wheel. And what do I get? Come on. Big money, no whammies. Stop.
There's no whammy here.
And the 7 goes to Elise. Elise gets the lucky 7. For it was almost Professor Thayer, but it was Elise.
Ooh. Can I do those stack?
Oh, and a new sub.
Thank you.
Thank
but
you.
Do 7 stack? Or not
Uh,
stack, but can I
You
have
don't
more than
stack.
one?
You can have more than one, yes. But
Okay.
when you use them, they're gone.
Okay. Because I
It
think I
would be
have one.
awesome if it would stack, though. I'm playing
Does
a
not
28.
They do
Yeah.
not stack. But
I have one from previously, so.
So
Sweet.
that'll put us at that latest sub. Thank you, Pooja, for that. That'll put us at $2 shy of our next divine revelation.
Oh, that was Godless Lawyer.
Oh, that was Godless Lawyer?
They gifted me.
Gifted the sub. Thank you, Godless Lawyer, for the gift sub. I missed that. Excellent. We are $2 shy of our next divine revelation, and what might become of one of our players. So, with that in mind, the wine arrives, and the waiter looks to the Contessa and asks if she will be ordering for the table, or if they are to take orders of everyone individually.
Do you trust me to order for the table? She kind of turns to look at everyone.
Of course.
Indeed.
Yes.
Any allergies or things that I should be concerned about?
I am not a big fan of cheese.
There's this moment she turns and looks at you and is like, then why are you in Italy?
Because I have work.
But she
Amor
doesn't
looks
say
personally
anything.
offended.
And una antipasta, una charcuterie, una giardinaria, primi, and then a penne arrabbiata.
Yes. That's Pooja. Sorry.
It's okay. If anyone else would like, una penne arrabbiata.
A bruschetta? I always love a good bruschetta.
The bruschetta, una premis for the bruschetta, sì. Bruschetta. And then a penne arrabbiata for the pasta, a chicken, marsala. A good marsala. We are in the north. We'll have marsala, and we'll have a bistecca Florentini.
Oh my God, we're going to be rolling in food for days.
No,
Oh,
it's only
that
for
sounds
3 courses. There are 3 more coming.
No.
Una ensalada, and we'll get to dessert. Little dolce alla fine.
Could I get a just spaghetti with tomato soup? I tried to think of the worst thing to order in Italy. Partly to see Deirdre's reaction.
Contessa, please tell me you're not going to let him order that.
No.
No. No. I don't know.
Of course not. And she just turns and looks at the waiter and shakes her head like, no.
This is the perfect time that I get dinner brought to me because I'm hungry now.
Oh my god.
There's a hype train
Okay,
going.
wait, yeah, as we're ordering food and everything, now Simon can't keep up with what's going
People in
on.
chat
So
are
many.
hungry.
Oh my god, thank you
Oh,
so
God.
much, everyone. Thank you so much. So that's 5 tier 1s, so that's a 25 plus 6, that's 30. What? What?
Oh,
Okay,
God.
wait. So that's 31 plus 1, so 36, 41, 40. Ah! Stop!
There's so many.
Never stop. He doesn't mean it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's 10 tier 1s. I think I'm just gonna count it that way. It's gonna be easy.
Hey, if you want to torture Simon, keep going.
I have
Keep
to
throwing
math.
money.
I have to math.
Math break.
Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna update that. I'm gonna. Oh, what's that?
50.
Oh
so-
no, wait, that's another resub that's coming in.
Mhm.
Okay, no, those are just. It's just the alert box not
Okay.
being able to follow.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 50 on the subs, and then Godless donates another 400 bits.
Yeah, so we're at 10 revelations.
500 bits.
We're at 10 revelations.
Wait,
We
I
had
thought
a
a
total
revelation
of-
was at 20.
At 20. So.
Yeah,
So
no, but we were at 8, we now have 10 revelations
Oh, total.
total, and we're at
But-
17 out of $20 for the next one.
But we also
Wait.
completed one, so we actually have 3 more. We're at 11. Because Alessa Vamp finished that 18 to 20.
Yeah, 8,
You got
9, and 10.
$50, so,
we have
yeah.
to do 8, 9, and 10.
Oh, 8, 9, and 10. Yes, we have
Yeah.
3 to do. Mm-hmm.
$3.
Oh
Look
my
at that.
God.
Woo!
Thank you.
that.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Wow.
Oh wow. You are making my week. An anonymous cheerer. It's wow, a tier 2 sub. Whoever got that sub, more grace. You actually have access to the facepalm emoji that I keep trying to downgrade to tier 1, but I can't because I don't have enough subs. So yeah, make good use of it. So we had 3. Now we're gonna do that's 27. All right. So revelations. We're currently standing at 11.
Wow.
Total.
11
Total.
total.
4 more to do tonight.
And that would be 7, 9. Okay, so we need to have 4 revelations.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so. My God. All right, we're at 10.5. Revelations 11. We need 20. We're at $10.50.
I mean, at this rate, y'all might end up breaking Simon.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
probably will. Okay. All right. Cool. There was a shit.
This
Chris?
is amazing. Thank you so much.
Chris,
Thank
we
you so
broke
much.
we broke the $10.
Yep. So that's also, what, 7 lucky 7s?
7 lucky 7s to give.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do with that one is I'm going to spin for 2 of them.
Yeah, and give everyone
Everyone else gets 1 lucky 7. And then I'll spin for 2 of them. There's another $1. So we're at 11. Godless Lawyers keeping the train alive.
Hi everyone. We're breaking Simon tonight.
With
With love
train's
and
alive.
money.
Train's alive. Keeping that train alive. All right. Well, Simon's, updating the tracker for us. Let's go ahead and spin that wheel. And it looks like our first additional lucky 7 is going to go to Katrina.
Woohoo!
Put that down.
And
Before I
the
forget.
second one is going to go to. Ooh, thank you, Bellweather. Keeping the train alive. It's going to go to Amor.
Ooh, nice. Thank you.
And I will point out that given that this hype train started because Simon promised juggling, I feel like we should give the viewers what they donated for.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, We'll have to work on that.
Edwin will attempt to juggle regardless of if he has the skills or not.
No. What I'm thinking is that we're actually going to have Rin videotape Simon trying to juggle, and we're going to play that at the next session's like break.
Okay. One thing you need to know is that Rin actually does circus, and she knows how to juggle.
Yeah.
We
so
have
she's-
juggling balls. I suck at juggling balls.
Yes. So she's going to have so much fun watching you
Be awful.
attempt to juggle, and we'll get a video of that we can share.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, yes, I'm texting her that right now.
We're at $17.50.
Mm-hmm. Why did you change it to $100?
I forgot. Do you know how many times I had to update this tracker in the last 10 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for everything.
So yes, Simon, we're just gonna have to make that happen.
Yeah, I'm
Okay?
gonna try to juggle.
So, and we will play it at the next whatchamacallit, the next break. Obviously not this week, but something tangible that people can sink their teeth into.
We got another divine revelation.
Mm-hmm.
And Thragan did just five
more
subs. Thank you. So that's 50. That's an extra 2 revelations. So we're now at 14 revelations.
No, 5 more would be 1 more revelation. Would be 25. Unless they're tier 2s. They're 5 tier 1s, right?
Yeah, so that's 25. Yeah. Sorry.
Yep.
So. Oh no! I lost track. I lost track of everything.
We were at 17 and we got resub that put us to 22. We then got 5 more that gives us to 47. We then got 500 bits, which puts us to 52. And what else do we have tracking here? Anything else? Looks like more resubs. Or is that just coming from Thragan still?
I think it's just coming from Thragan, but those
Godless
are 300
Lawyer,
bits.
300 more. So
we were at 11.
50.
11.
We're at 50 and a half.
25, so that's 12 revelations total, right?
So, yeah, no, we would be at
13 revelations total.
13 revelations now.
Okay.
Breaking his brain.
It's fun.
It's so fun. Why?
I thought I would not have to do math.
Man, I really wish I
After-
had popcorn right now so I could just popcorn GIF in person.
Yep.
Do we have popcorn as an
So-
emote?
Oh, there you go, M&M GIF.
Does dinner work?
Oh, the
I have dinner in
dark-
front of me. It's like, oh no.
The dark chocolate M&Ms. Oh, those are
Mm.
Perfect.
nice.
Perfect. Excellent. So that means that we have what, 6 revelations now to do?
Yes.
Okay.
6.
All right.
And we are sitting at $4.50 from the 7th one.
Gotcha. And then that also means that we have an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've crossed 6 more 7s. So each one take 1 more.
Okay, so so we each have 2 7s, and you're gonna roll for 2.
I'm gonna roll for 1 more. We got 1 more.
Roll for 1 more. Sorry.
Yeah, or spin for 1 more because spinning is more fun.
I wish we could see the spinning wheel.
Actually, I can add a spinning wheel to the overlay and spin it if you want.
Well, we could do that too if you want.
Give me just a quick second. Spin wheel. Spin wheel. Categories. We said, so we're gonna have a Katerina.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have Edwin. We're gonna have Amor. We're gonna have
Elise. And the Contessa.
And Contessa. And not that person. Okay. Alright. We've got... What colors do you want? I'm giving black to the Contessa.
I think Elise needs to be red because...
Goes with her dress, so...
Elise is red.
Purple.
Purple for Ekaterina.
Green.
Green for Amor. Okay, the green is sort of lime green. Yeah, I just deleted everyone. Amor is green. There you go. Ekaterina is red. There we go. And Edwin is gonna inherit whatever color's left. I'm orange. Alright. That thing should work. How does it work?
Clicky?
Yeah,
Click.
I think it's a clicky thing. Oh, it's a yeah, I know what it is. It's because I need to get the widget thingy up. Come on, spin that wheel. Where can I spin it? I just want a button that says spin. I am a professional.
Yep.
These are some cool emotes. I don't know what half of them are.
Thank you.
But they look cool.
They look real cool.
Look, I got this because I got a gift sub. Oh.
Why don't you want to?
Oh, yes, the Simon thumbs up, and then there's one steel sword and one silver sword for The Witcher.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
I think with all of these
Because-
donations, Simon, we're going to need to get a Castle Falkenstein emote.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a top hat. Or
Bowler.
bowler. It's a bowler.
Bowler.
It's a bowler. Well, I was thinking the top hat with the hedgehogs falling out of it.
Well, that was season 2.
This is true. So just a bowler. The bowler
Yeah.
works. A bowler with a bottle in front of it.
Or it's like a bowler with a Venetian mask in front of it.
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
yeah. I mean, you know,
A
a
Venetian
wine
mask
bottle
with
would
a
be
bowler.
appropriate. A
like
bowler would be appropriate.
Like a bottle of wine with like a mask kind of like looped over it, like kind of
Mhm.
diagonal.
Very nice.
No, that's why I'm not logged in.
We are so yes, the Contessa is ordering
That's a lot of food.
well, no, you know, just a normal set of dinner, and antipasto, a
Mhm.
cheese plate, a charcuterie plate, a giardinaria, which is like an Italian quick pickle for vegetables. So think
Mhm.
cauliflower, carrots, everything, like all of these vegetables that you wouldn't normally pickle, but they're like real quick pickles. So it's just like a little bit, mostly marinated in vinegar,
Mhm.
red wine vinegar. Then for
Aha! It's spinning.
pasta-
Oh wait, it
it's
doesn't
not
work.
spinning. The pasta
Yeah.
course is penne arrabbiata, which now it's spinning.
It's spinning, but the
gonna
categories are crooked.
There's
Eh,
two
doesn't matter.
Edwins, a lot of Contessas.
Yeah, because I left the weight as they were before. So we're just gonna.
See, pasta course is penne arrabbiata, which is angry pasta. It's spicy. It's very good. The only thing spicier is Fra Diavolo.
Okay,
but,
I got it. Are y'all
I
ready?
mean, I can keep talking about Italian food if you
Yeah.
want.
First spin. First person to win is. Why is there? No, it's wrong again.
All right, what are you guessing for the next course then?
Then the main course we're going to do chicken cacciatore and chicken marsala. and then a beefsteak Florentina, which is steak that's grilled with a reduction of balsamic vinegar as a glaze on top.
Okay. By the way, Godless Lawyer. Yes, thank you for reminding me. As of this week, we are officially sponsored by Artalsorian Games. And this means that we might have some goodies in the near future for all of you. So, thank you for reminding me. I forgot when we started. And now the wheel is fixed. So let's just spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel.
Yes. Elise,
Wheel.
you're the first winner. Do I have to spin again,
Yay!
Chris?
Wait, I only see 4 people.
Yeah.
Where's
1, 2,
Ekaterina?
3, Oh,
There's no purple for Ekaterina.
I feel so special, guys.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's do it again.
This is fabulous, and I love this so much.
Okay, the colors
My
don't
favorite.
work, but whatever. Contessa, you win once.
Okay.
Oh, yay!
Yay!
Amor, you win once.
Woo!
That's 2 out of the 5. 4.
Well, I thought. Wait, are we doing the sevens or revelations or what?
Revelations.
Okay, so that's 2. So
Oh, I
Yeah,
have
the-
to keep rolling for Revelations. I thought we were doing a Revelations during break.
Oh, we can do that for the 7s if we want to instead.
Yeah, I thought we were doing it for the 7th.
That's fine. Okay. So yeah, you each have one more 7. And then at the break, we
Okay.
will come back and tackle the revelations when we get back from break.
woohoo!
So do I have to roll again?
No, we'll do that after the break with the wheel.
Okay,
so that
no
way
problem.
you can fix the color and get it purple for
It's
Ekaterina.
already fixed.
Sweet. So,
But let's keep going.
let's shift back, and we'll come back for all of the shenanigans after break. So we have ourselves quite a smorgasbord of food that's coming our way, and you're spying on the what is it, the Grand Cafe Quadri across the plaza, looking for a peculiar old gentleman in a red hat. It was very regal looking with gold trim and such. What other kinds of things would you like to talk about as you work your way through your clues? That's what I'm looking for.
So, do you want to talk clues, or do we want to talk about who's after our dear actor?
Oh yes, that too.
Yeah.
Does that have to do with you being shunted from the Fey realm?
I think it might be better to get a more story so that we can all be on the lookout to make sure they are safe.
If they're not invisible, of course.
It's yeah, it's perhaps I should begin where the Countess last saw me. You may.
I mean, to be honest, the last time I actually saw you, we were in a kitchen, and then I was no longer conscious.
Yeah.
And then I woke up, and you went to a different location, and everybody else went the other way.
I am not a more protego, as you know me. I am Jasser Firit Rogozhin. And almost a year ago, I was an actor for the Fey realm, the Fairy Court. I spent a lot of time there, and I also fell in love. But I believe that this was used against me, and well, it is hard to say. It's so overwhelming. And Amor takes a big long drink of their red wine. Excuse me. And they set it down for a second and they get up and kind of turn away.
More. So, who were they?
Pardon. I believe it was well, they were are a noble, and I saw their true visage, and you cannot do that.
I
I was not aware of that. What happens if you do?
I do not know. I was told it. If I stayed, that it would put me in mortal danger, and so I left.
Who told you that it would put you in danger if you stayed?
It was a friend I met when I first entered the land, the realm.
Hmm.
A little changeling.
I mean, I've heard about that when they're usually in other instances, but not all the time, and it doesn't always happen, and it doesn't always work, and usually there's the whole true love conquers all kind of thing.
But those are stories, no?
The Fae do love their stories.
The story.
They certainly love Shakespeare.
And the story.
But is true love conquers all any more of a story than you can't see their true face?
I do not know. The land is foreign to me, and I believed them.
Did you not ask
Of
the one
course.
you loved?
Well, it was until I received this letter, and Amor pulls out the letter that they showed the Contessa. Chris, I don't have the text of that letter.
Ooh. Excellent.
I think you may have messaged it to me on Twitter. I'll see if I can find it.
I was going to say, I think I need to see what I have there. I'll find it really quickly. I hope. Where did you go?
Oh, the letter that you didn't have her read yet. Like, you just showed her that it was a letter.
Okay.
Because, like, I'm starting to sit here going, I don't have any notes about the letter. All I have the note is that you showed her that there was one, and then we were going to talk about it later. All right.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the text of it.
I have the summary of it, and so
Okay.
I'll summarize it. It says that there is a fae here, that they're out to expose me, and the letter used both names, both Amor on the outside, and they show the letter, and the addressed it to Jarcer. I believe this is from Mon Amour.
Ugh.
What exactly are they
I do
trying to
not know.
expose?
Amor heaves a very heavy sigh. I am an actor, and your name is everything. If I am exposed, I am no longer this And they broadly gesture.
Elise will nod and say, that I can completely relate to. Our name is our livelihood. Not just in... You don't have to be a practitioner of magic for names to have power.
And I'll leave it at that. I have my name and I have the theater to worry about. If I am exposed, it could take everything away.
Well,
Well.
Go ahead, Contessa.
I was just going to say that there are many things that could be coming. We do not know. But I do not think somehow that your more is the one who caused the problems.
No, not that they caused it. It's that it's a warning.
You think your love is trying to warn you of this fate that's out to get you?
I do. I think that, and given this mystery, I am concerned that I am a liability. The unseelie are plotters.
Very much so.
I love it when Chris can just sit back and like watch the show go on.
And
grab a little bit of popcorn.
If they are plotters, as you say, would you know what their modus operandi is? How do they put these plans into motion? What are their favored method of threatening or even acting upon those threats? Are we looking at assassins in the black of night, or are we looking at blackmailing?
I don't think that murder is quite what they're looking for. I think that they delight in chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean,
Chaos,
you can't say
trickery.
that. There have been those times of murder, though.
There's always times of murder. That is very true.
Oh yeah.
And but when we're more specific, you know that that Iron, what's his name? That Iron Lord, Iron General, oh God, Deirdre's forgotten the name of it.
Iron Master.
Iron Master, there we go. Then the Iron Master is just, there's that whole bit, and then the murder and the slow possession, and there are so many things that they come up with. It is very insane.
I think it's all in course.
And I think the other thing that we should remember, there is of course, unseelie are involved, they're political. But more importantly, who was your love? More.
They were on the very court. They were highborn. It would be very public.
So it is possible that it isn't just an unseelie who might be causing you problems. If your lover is of a highborn noble status, then they have political enemies who wish to maneuver against them.
C'est possible.
And it's also possible that your existence precluded certain romantic overtures that they were being made in an attempt to manipulate and control, and it's politics.
At first, it wasn't romantic. It was an appreciation. We spent some time together, but I didn't know for sure until I got the letter. Oh, mon cœur.
That is quite a burden to be carrying by yourself, Amor. Oh,
Yeah.
do you prefer we call you Amor?
That is fine. If we are in public, I think that it would be best.
Well, I don't know about you all, but a good love story always tugs at my heartstrings. I will
Of
try to
course.
help however you may need it. I've never really dealt with the Fae before. Not like this.
Neither have I. We tend to run in different circles. But we will keep an eye out for you, at the very least, and for anyone trying to do you harm.
Mm-hmm.
I thank you.
Have you been able to get in contact with this love of yours?
No, this letter, Chris, it arrived in my bag or my coat. Like, I didn't recognize I had it until...
Yeah, it was in your bag. When you went to
Yeah.
put the wine bottle in there, you found it.
Okay.
As you were traveling back from Agrippa's home.
Mm-hmm. It was magic that transported me to the Fair realm. I do not have a way of returning myself, and I do not know how to send any message.
Perhaps our mysterious von Gruben might be able to know of a way.
Possibly. As well, they would be an expert in hiding from the Fae. If that is what you wish as well.
I do not know. I have to think.
Well, how about not tonight? Here, she'll fill up your wine glass. I think you deserve it.
Merci.
And
they'll hold the glass aloft.
It's like when you're like, just one cup of wine, but it's like right up to the edge. she understands, like,
An Italian pour.
Exactly.
Chris, from this moment on,
yes,
consider that Edwin will always be on the lookout for Amor or for people trying to follow them.
Okay.
Without drawing a card or anything, but like Edwin is now on edge.
Elise as well,
I think everyone is.
This is magic stuff, and
mm-hmm.
that's just naturally what she's drawn to anyway. So, and she's pretty good at looking out for things. So.
I may only be an inventor or more, but I do have a good bitch slap.
Oh, wait. Would it be possible to create a device that identifies the
slaps people?
Well, no. No, but that would confirm the presence of Fae in a certain vicinity. That way Amor could walk with it and know, if...
There could be. I've never said no to any good idea.
They do not like metal, iron specifically. It does not have to be gold iron. That is stronger, but any iron will do.
Well, why don't we outfit you in some iron then?
Yeah, just
We'll just put some fey repellent on you.
Maybe not too strong. She'll look at the Contessa.
I mean, we are in Italy. There are probably tons of old medieval armors lying around. We can just encase you in a full
That's
plate.
a bit of
Just walking around in a chest plate.
Well, I'm sure actors like the attention. I don't think that's the type of attention we're trying to bring.
Perhaps
A
maybe
ring, a necklace.
a small sheet of chainmail.
Ooh, there's no such thing as a small sheet of chainmail, dear.
Could
You
Or I assume
Already.
a quiet sheet of chainmail.
you do have cold iron on you.
Would you like to
key.
carry the key?
Gonna use it as a what is it called? A divining rod, but for fey.
I mean, to my experience, Faye do get a bit nauseous around it. Side-eye the Contessa.
And
So-
more, we'll look at the Contessa. Is that okay?
It is your choice what you choose to do to protect yourself against people who wish to do you harm. I have multiple ways to protect myself. I'm just probably not necessarily going to walk arm in arm with you anymore if you carry that.
If it's been in my pocket this entire time, Contessa, and it doesn't seem to be affecting you. I think it's when you get to a certain proximity of it.
And have you noticed that there's always been somebody in between us when we were walking?
I just thought you didn't like me as much.
No, I love you dearly, my dear friend.
Hmm.
But this is not. And the Contessa's like slightly uncomfortable in all of this, and it's like Ekaterina and the Contessa are having a conversation that no one else that isn't actually been confirmed for anyone else, and
Ekaterina, I
yes.
appreciate the offer, but your company has made me feel quite assured. All of you.
I do also have a big, a little, a welding torch that I could use should anybody get real close.
well, I mean, if we're going to talk about that, and she kind of reaches into like just in front of her corset and pulls this small bauble, it's bronze, out about a little bit way, and you can see that it's actually attached to a very long piece of metal, and she goes, I carry a sword everywhere. Well, a hat then. And she kind of sticks it back, so it's just kind of resting.
I
right
do
between.
love hat pins.
Perhaps I was thinking maybe I can get some powder and a poultice. If I think that I am in the company of some uncili, I could blow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Some iron shavings or something?
You could mix that in. Maybe if you grind it really, really finely with like a liquid, and have a little spray bottle, like a
Ooh,
perfume.
being sprayed iron shavings.
Yeah,
Like a cat spray.
like a cat
but for
repellent.
fey.
Yeah. Don't put it on yourself, dear. But shoot, it's like pepper spray, but for Faye.
Maybe put some pepper in there too.
Maybe that too, just to annoy them.
Make them really regret following you.
Kenny loves this idea of fey pepper spray.
This is why Ekaterina is the inventor.
Yeah, I could probably tinker something up for you, should you wish it.
That would be marvelous.
Of course. We just need to get some iron shavings, and I do not want to shave this key. Seems
No.
important.
You do realize that pepper spraying iron shavings onto anyone will probably create a reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, but will it make them nauseous?
Well, I mean, you might kill a
You could
human
also
with it.
you could spray it on the ground near them and see if
Yeah,
they
it doesn't have to
Oh,
be at
yeah.
their face.
Well,
No,
I
no,
just
I
had the
mean,
picture of a cat and the spray bottle and
Yeah.
just like
That's
straight in the
fair.
face.
It's
Like,
it's also how fine those iron shavings are, right? Like
Yeah.
It'll
look
be like body glitter. So you
Or-
just spray body glitter on them.
or like the amount of lead that comes out of lead pipes in water. You might
Yeah.
taste it, but
You're fine.
Yeah, I think that works.
Could we do a 50-50?
Maybe I can help with some magic to make it a little less fatal to humans.
Mm. I'm pretty good at sorcery, but not that good.
Just in terms of particle size, as you would say. Mind you, I do not tinker.
Don't worry, dear.
At
I
all.
got that covered. It'll be a little partner project.
Anything for our dear Moore.
She says, still looking at Elise.
Or it's a pun.
there's a moment where the Contessa is just slightly smiling, and then she turns and looks at him more, and is like, "They're so cute." And then she looks at the professor and is like,
We're drinking.
"Okay, fine, no answer."
You know, I think I usually don't drink, but I think tonight calls for a drink and a toast.
yeah, Edwin would raise his glass and say something like, well, to good company, good friends, and protection in numbers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Or salute. What
Salud.
Salud.
Salute.
Like the toast drinking from the straw. It's great.
At that moment, as the next course is being passed out, the Contessa, someone that you recognize, will sidle up next to you and set an envelope on your lap before turning and leaving. It is a haberdasher that you know. She whispers very softly in your ear. They said it was urgent. I don't understand. And she turns and leaves.
Thank you. Thank you, Senora. I appreciate your assistance. And she'll pick it up and, I don't have it with me. She'll like sniff the package first, the letter.
It's a standard, envelope for correspondence. It's decent thickness. There's probably a few pieces of paper in there. There is a hint of, what scent is that? It is a hint of, I lost my note. There we go. A hint of almond and cinnamon. Nope, clove. Almond and clove.
Would you like me to lick it?
Maybe not, because it smells like almonds.
So would it taste like almonds?
But here's the thing. Sometimes what smells like almonds isn't almonds. It's a little bit different, and you don't want to ingest it.
Ah. Oh, right. I haven't come in contact with that in a while.
Oh, have you had that problem before? I mean, like, usually I have. And she kind of like reaches into her hair, which is still up, and like pulls a pin out of it and lets half of it fall down and uses that to kind of flip over the envelope and look at the seal that's there. Does she recognize it?
She does. It is the seal of one Alfonso Garzoni. And on that note, folks, we are going to break.
All right then. We're gonna have a lot of wheel spinning to do.
Yes.
Be right back, everyone. Stick around. Grab a drink, grab a snack, grab some found familiar coffee, and come back in a few minutes. But before we go to break, I'm just gonna turn something on Slubs so we have a smooth transition when we come back because of all the stuff that's gonna happen during break. It's just taking a while to load. All right. See you in a few minutes, everyone.
You have been cordially invited to a world of wonder and intrigue, of steam and invention, of magic and mysteries, where nobles wave playbills at scientists who deep in thought nearly trip over pixies delivering news to tinkerers beneath the stage of New Europa. Sit back and enjoy the scene as the actors act, the singers sing, and the players play out the adventures of Castle Falkenstein. You have been cordially invited to a world of wonder and intrigue, of steam and invention, of magic and mysteries, where nobles wave playbills at scientists who deep in thought nearly trip over pixies delivering news to tinkerers beneath the stage of New Europa. Sit back and enjoy the scene as the actors act, the singers sing, and the players play out the adventures of Castle Falkenstein. You have been cordially invited to a world of wonder and intrigue, of steam and invention, of magic and mysteries, where nobles wave playbills at scientists who deep in thought nearly trip over pixies delivering news to tinkerers beneath the stage of New Europa. Sit back and enjoy the scene as the actors act, the singers sing, and the players play out the adventures of Castle Falkenstein. You have been cordially invited to a world of wonder and intrigue, of steam and invention, of magic and mysteries, where nobles wave playbills at scientists who deep in thought nearly trip over pixies delivering news to tinkerers beneath the stage of New Europa. Sit back and enjoy the scene as the actors act, the singers sing, and the players play out the adventures of Castle Falkenstein.
Hello, everyone. We're back. It's been a while. So, we had wheels to spin. Right? So let's, so we had 6 revelations.
Mm-hmm.
And we will begin with... Edwin has a revelation. I'll just note them down and then I'll change the overlay accordingly for everyone. Alright, our next revelation will go to... Amor!
Woo!
Hooray!
Yay!
So start thinking.
Contessa has one.
Yay!
So now at least everyone has had one.
Yay!
Our 4th is going to... Shit, Edwin again. I might give it away to someone else, though. Our 5th goes to Ekaterina.
Woo-woo!
Thanks, Wheel.
And one last time, thanks to all of your donations, to Ekaterina again.
Oh.
Nice.
I get
So-
oh shit, now I gotta think about things.
So that means we're gonna have two frames at level 5.
Yep.
Ooh.
But I think if that's okay with you, I would give up mine and re-roll, respin.
Both of them or just
No,
one
just
of them?
one. I'll keep one for myself because I'm selfish.
Okay.
But I'll give the other one to someone else.
Okay.
2 or more.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Moving on up in the world.
I know.
The east side, even.
Mm-hmm.
Let's upgrade those
like that.
borders.
Drum roll, please.
Bam, Ekaterina, leveled up to the biggest one.
I feel so special for reals this time, guys.
Oh, snap.
Fancy.
Ooh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Contessa has 1. Boop. I need to remove the old one.
There we go.
There we go. So that's the Contessa. Amor has 2, so Amor goes from level 1 to level 3 right away.
Mm-hmm.
So I can actually get rid of all of those. Alright. No one's gonna downgrade their level anyway. So Amor is done. Ekaterina is done. And Edwin has 1 more. Edwin, where are you?
Level 4.
Yes. And Edwin used to be a level 3. And now that's gone.
Excellent. So, while Simon is adjusting the frames and getting everybody, leveled out and pretty again, we return to a letter that has been dropped off. 3rd letter that you all have received. It is addressed to my dearest Lucretia.
Is that what you wrote on the front or just on the inside?
That's what it says on the front.
Oh, all right. And she pulls the pin from her hair, lets it fall, and then subtly takes the pin and uses it as if it's a letter to slip under the seal and pop it to unfold it.
And inside, there is 2 sheafs of parchment, and it's very high quality. Again, the ink is gold. And it says, "Busy old fool, unruly son, why dost thou thus, through windows and through curtains, call on us? Must to thy motions lovers' seasons run? Saucy, pedantic wretch, go chide late schoolboys and sour prentices. Go tell court huntsmen that the king will ride. Call country ants to harvest offices. Love, all alike, no season knows nor clime, nor hours, days, months, which are the rags of time. Thy beams so reverend and strong, why shouldst thou think I could eclipse and cloud them with a wink? But that I would not lose her sight so long, if her eyes have not blinded thine. Look, and tomorrow late tell me, whether both the Indias of spice and mine be where thou left'st them, or lie here with me. Ask for those kings whom thou sawest yesterday, and thou shalt hear, all here in one bed lay. She's all states and all princes, aye, nothing else is. Princes do but play us, compared to this. All honors mimic, all wealth alchemy. Thou, son, art half as happy as we, in that the world's contracted thus. Thine age asks ease, and since thy duties be to warm the world, that's done in warming us. Shine here to us, and thou art everywhere. This bed thy center is, these walls thy sphere.
I didn't think Alfonso was into English poetry. Is there any other thing besides the poem?
Yes, there's actually an illustration at the bottom of a scroll and a rapier. It's kind of fancy. I don't know if it's something that was just part of the like parchment that Alfonso seemed to have used, but it's not signed and it's not addressed. It's simply the poem, and with the illustration at the bottom of the second page.
So the poem takes up the 2 pages then?
Yes.
Okay. Huh. And is it Alfonso's handwriting?
That's a good question. And what would you use for comparison?
I mean, she's definitely seen. The thing is, the Contessa has fun, but all of her fun serves a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime she's involved with someone, it is because they have something that she needs to know. So she makes a habit of seeing through everyone's private study, their letters, their handwriting, even if it isn't addressed to her.
Ah.
I mean, I could play that.
So, while we're speaking of this,
Would that be education or perception?
what skill at average
Yes.
might you raise that is related to your familiarity to Mr. Alfonso?
I actually have a question I have to send you, Chris.
Okay.
Before I answer that, I have to ask that question to you.
That's an excellent question. And I think I am going to let the fate of the cards answer it for me. Okay. So I will pull a card really fast and see what I find. So the answer to your question will be, it will be a yes.
Okay. So, in that case, I'm going to do this. As she's sitting there kind of like playing with the leather and reading it through, because this Alfonso was fun, but he wasn't enough of a fun to be attracted in something like this, and everything else doesn't seem to tie back to anything that she knows about Alfonso. But she does remember what Amor said about the Unseelie who was following them, the things that she had been looking into for her own family history, which is slightly complex. And unlike the good captain that she had a very nice time with in Munich, she is not Fae 100%. But she's close enough that the family, well, she doesn't have the years, but there are enough things that she started to notice. And from her time spent with Oberon Winters, and then the captain, and then other things, she started to experiment a little bit with things that she has some availability to. So she can do some minor changes. And do some minor glamour work. So she's going to raise glamour from average to good.
And as you're kind of running your fingers over the ink, you'll find that the ink is true. It is gold. That part is not an illusion. But the script itself is not near as clean as one might think. It's not near as polished. It seems to have been forged and then covered up with a glamour. And as you kind of apply that knowledge, the glamour dissipates, and you can see the deliberate strokes and the couple stopping points, and how the actual writing seems a lot less high-end calligraphy than maybe someone has attempted to fake.
Do we still have that other letter, Ekaterina?
Yes,
May I borrow it?
of course. Sure.
Someone's playing little games with.
Son.
So, Miss Elise, you said that you have some skill in esoteric arts?
I have been known by some to dabble.
Quite sure. I would love to pick your brain at some point. I am very interested about everything that you could possibly say. But there seems to be a little bit of a illusion, a glamour, something a little bit on this one. Because let's be honest, Alfonso, he was fun, but he wasn't this much fun. He was not into English poetry.
Okay.
And admittedly, he wasn't really into a lot of Italian poetry, so.
That's just sad.
All right. Perhaps
he
I
had the
could.
stamina to make up for it.
Perhaps I could take a look and see if I see anything.
Please do.
Okay, so that's the. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my 7s.
Okay.
And then so that puts me down to 3.
So that'll put you, that's a 7 plus your sorcery, which is that great for this character? Okay.
Yes.
So that would be 15.
Mm-hmm. I guess I might as well go and throw my Deuce is Wild in there.
Okay.
Since we have a new batch that just went live for us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that is a 17.
Mm-hmm.
And what exactly is it that you're going to be looking for?
I would like to pierce through whatever glamour or illusion is there. Whatever the person who put it, like whatever is trying to be hidden by this illusion or glamour, I would like to see it.
Is there any specifics to the spell that you wanted to, or do you want to cast a spell related to it, or are you just trying to use your knowledge of sorcery to pierce through it? That should be.
I think it would be cool to actually cast a spell. Elise is does spell in the weaving fashion. So you see as her hands are on the table, she does what looks like some wild, intricate version of like a threadless cat's cradle with her arms, with her hands, and her fingers move deftly, plucking at, twisting, and tucking invisible knots as she casts a spell right there at the table. But you can tell that it's also made to look very much like just kind of the idle, like finger fumblings of somebody by anybody walking by. Like you wouldn't think there's anything nefarious to it. In fact, she doesn't even pay attention to her hands as she's doing it. As she's looks engrossed in whatever conversation is happening at the rest of the table.
Excellent. While you are doing that, I would like you to pull a card from the deck.
Okay.
And
one
play
card
it immediately. Okay. And you're basically powering up the spell is what we're doing here.
Okay.
So we want to reach 18 points is your goal. You need spades for this particular task to see beyond the illusion and pierce a little bit more than what you might, just to see what's been hidden, but to see what else you can glean. So
And I was at 17?
That was for the skill in sorcery. This is for the effect.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I need to get an 18. What does the 10 do here?
You get 1 point if it's offsuit.
Okay.
So you're hoping for spades. So let's go ahead and pull one more, and then we're going to see what other people are doing while you're concentrating, and we'll circle back around.
Sounds good. Oop, nope.
Getting lots of diamonds here. Excellent.
Which is interesting because that is the sorcery stat, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Next. So, as you are looking, or as you're watching Elise looking carefully at the letter, what other kinds of things are you all talking about?
The Contessa is actively scanning the piazza because even though this was dropped off to her, it doesn't feel like Alfonso, and so someone else might be watching her to see if she got the letter and what their response was.
Indeed. What you will notice about the area is there doesn't seem to be anyone lingering out of the ordinary. Everything seems to be kind of as it should for a busy night. People move throughout the plaza. They come and go in patterns that you're quite used to seeing in the months that you've been here. While you may not recognize the individuals, the flow of humanity that walks the area seems to be in concert with what is familiar. There is no presence kind of lingering on the back of your neck as though you are being watched. So that is a good sign. At least at this point. Is there something in particular that you wanted to look for? Just a person?
She also wants to see if she sees anyone that might be under a glamour.
Not in your current purview.
Okay.
But if you continue to look for that, you may or may not find someone. It's something that you would have to concentrate on in order to pick up on those details. While the Contessa is doing that, we'll go around the table. Edwin, you were also hypervigilant at this point. Your assessment would be similar. Nothing seems to be odd or out of place from what you expect of human behavior. Nothing that is hyper-focused on your table or trying very hard not to look like they're looking at your table. So in that regard, it's the status quo. Is there anything else that you wish to do at this stage?
I think most of Edwin's attention would be turned to Elise and the spell that she's weaving. He's never seen anyone do magic. So while, yes, he's hyper vigilant about like who's walking by, who's looking over, who might be eavesdropping and everything, a chunk of his attention would be turned to Elise and how does she look when she casts a spell? What movements did she have to do? What rote does she have to go through? And all of that. This is just like it's something he's never seen before. So without weirding her out, he'd be interested in seeing how one does magic.
And when we circle back around to Elise, we'll have Pooja elaborate a little bit more on what that looks like. So, Ekaterina.
Had to mute myself. She is. Her mind's on 5 things at once, as always. She's looking out for any obvious threats, but then Elise starts doing her magic, and she looks over to see, curious to see how she does her magic. What the difference is between the magic she's seen and the magic she does. And then as well, looking at Amor and thinking about his story.
There.
Just their story. Thank you for correcting me. Thinking about their story and how exactly does one protect from the Fae? What she can come up with to help them.
Okay. Let's go to I want you to hold that thought for Ekaterina. And let's talk a little bit more to Jacer and see what we have to add to this. And we'll circle back to what elements catch the periphery of your active mind.
So Jacer would recognize kind of there is something going on at the table. Because Elise is busy doing something. The Contessa is scoping things out. Edwin seems enraptured, and Ekaterina seems kind of lost in thought. And so Jacer starts telling a story and is ramping up into kind of a performance mode to try to make things seem average, normal. Like this is an everyday grouping of friends sharing, stories and food and wine. And so I'm going to play that. My performance is great, I believe.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my Deuces Wild.
Okay. So that'll put it at a 16. You do an excellent job of capturing the attention of people, especially those around. You'll notice that you don't really seem to throw off the people at your table from what they're doing. But they seem to be done well. So
it's just kind of verbal cover for, and so that if anyone were to look on, it would seem like an average grouping.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. At this point, we will find what Ekaterina seems to keep getting distracted by as she tries to hold all of these thoughts. Remind me again, what is your sorcery at, Ekaterina?
Is at good.
Ah, yes. Out of the corner of your eye, you swear every time that you turn your head, just in the corner of one eye or the other, that you see a small boy, maybe age 6, 7, 8, somewhere in that range. Poking around, looking at the table, looking over someone's shoulder. But every time you go to look to see, they're not there.
Do I see them out of the corner of my eye now?
You do.
I'm just gonna take... Where do I see them?
Currently,
Mm-hmm.
they seem to be sitting on Elise's lap, mimicking her hand movements.
If I'm gonna say, without looking at Elise, dear, please take no offense, but I'm gonna take a hand and just kind of put it to where I see them without looking.
Okay.
You smack me in the chest?
I'm not smacking you, I'm just putting my hand.
Basically, yeah, Ekaterina's hand comes out and stops right in front of your torso.
Just put it like on the top of the head of where I see this child.
And Ekaterina, you'll notice the child kind of looks at you and winks, and then poof, is out of your periphery again.
All you see is her hand and go.
Elise.
Yes.
Describe to Edwin what this looked like before the interruption.
So before Katerina pointed things out, you've never seen sorcery before, you said, right? And
Nope.
I guess, how does it work that unless your sorcery is poor, you have some sense of it or something?
Yeah, you'll sense it. The higher your sorcery is, the more of it you can actually see.
My sorcery is poor.
Oh, your sorcery is poor. Okay.
Then he doesn't pick up on any of these details.
Okay, so for those people who don't have poor sorcery and might be paying attention, which I think in this case it mainly is Ekaterina. And the Contessa, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And just
Are they all watching? I thought they were looking out.
well, the Contessa's trying to see if she can see anyone under a glamour.
Okay.
Chaucer's aware of where they need to distract from.
Yeah. So basically, what looks like I had mentioned that there was kind of just like what looked like finger weaving, knotting stuff. That's why all that Professor Thayer sees just sees somebody who can't sit still, kind of. But the rest of y'all will see that where her fingers touch, depending on how strong your sorcery is, you'll see either just kind of what looks like a vague shimmer in the air, like as though the air particles that are being pushed by her fingers are actually like waving away, or if you're if you're stronger in it, you might actually see colors of different threads, and those are the threads that she is pulling together, knotting, unknotting, and weaving under and over in order to weave her spell. But yeah, unfortunately to Professor Thayer, it probably looks like someone twiddling their thumbs and fingers in a elegant way.
Practiced way.
Yeah.
But not
and then
like...
Katerina's hand just smacks you in the chest.
But yeah, about that, did I sense anything?
Not at this point. You're pretty focused on what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And the energy has been difficult to pull. So you've gotten 2 points of what your target is. So let's pull another card.
Okie dokie. Come on, big mummy. Money, no whammies. Ugh, no. Big
Another
old
8
club.
clubs this time. Love it. We've got the 10, the card of the end of a cycle, the finisher, and then 8, the eternal, twice. I wonder what sort of eternal mischief you're going to find yourself up to.
Totally not creepy after describing a child.
So as you continue to pull energy, we'll go one more.
Was that to me? Should I pull another card?
One more
Oh, okay,
card
okay.
Before we go back around the round, around
Understood.
the table.
Okay. No, sir.
2 clubs again. And it's at this point that you're going to see, all of you will feel this and see as a breeze comes through and lifts the letter off the table.
Can I just snatch it?
I was going to go around the table, sure enough. Would you like to play a card?
Sure. For perception or just
No,
physical?
athletics to grab it.
Cool.
What is your athletics?
Why is it moving? Stop.
I've got it. I see the 6.
Okay, it's a 6 of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
The athletics is average, so that's a 10.
Okay. So we've got, so a 10 to try and grab it out of the air.
You have your 7s.
Oh yeah, no, I also have the Deuces Wild.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll use the Deuces Wild, and I have 1 lucky 7, so I'll use both of them. So
Okay.
That's 17.
Well, the 7 would replace the 6.
Oh, the 7 replaced the 6.
Yeah, so it'd be a 13.
So it'd be a 13. Yeah.
Yep.
Can I help?
Yeah,
you can attempt to. Do you have a card that is better than a 7 of clubs?
Yes.
Then what I would like you to do is I'd like you to take the 6 and replace it with whatever the better card is. There we go.
Nice.
So we now have a, what is that, 11. So it'd be 4 more points. It'd be a 17 now. That we're
It would be
working
5 more points
5
than
more.
a 6. Yeah.
Well, but she had the 7 before.
I had the 7.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause,
sorry. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're at a 17 now. And I will go ahead and let's see here. What am I doing? Yes, I don't have anything to really contest that, so I'll burn a card. And you'll snatch it out of the air. The 2 of you, you'll see as the Contessa goes to grab it, it moves in the air. And then Professor Thayer reaches out to grab it, and it moves right back into the path of the Contessa's hand, who's swinging across to catch it. And she grabs the letter. And there's a bit of a tug on it, and then it dissipates. The tugging dissipates.
Can I just gauge what direction they're trying to tug it in as she kind of pins it to the table?
No, there didn't seem to be a discernible direction.
Okay.
It was, think of it like a floating, or like a spiraling whirlwind of air, like picking it up and taking it away, but not really in a discernible pattern. So, and at that point, it'll break the spell. What do you all do?
Katerina's hand is still on Elisa's chest.
And
I'm quite okay, Katerina dear.
No, I think we should take our business elsewhere.
I think coffee and dessert would be much more appreciable at the Palazzo.
But before we go, DM, did Elise feel the spell fail, or did she feel it get interrupted by that breeze?
It was that. The whatever gust of air that was not just a breeze, that was actually your character would note that is the element of air that pulled that away.
Okay.
And as that was happening, it broke the spell and changed your concentration. And what you would have seen was Edmund holding the letter, his eyes blind. And as the letter is taken from his hand and pinned to the table, he kind of looks directly at you and blinks, and the scales seem to fall from his eyes as he fades away into darkness.
Okay, well then I take back what I said about what she said to Katerina. What she does is stare into that spot.
Okay.
Please,
Blinking
dear, your heart
rapidly.
rate's going up.
Ekaterina, darling,
Yes.
we're in public.
Oh, I meant no offense. There was a child, you see.
I'm sure there was. There's probably a bunch. And she like takes the letter and rolls it up and sticks it right in the front of her corset.
She's gonna reach over to move towards the contestants. Like, no, you see, there was a child spying on the table.
Oh, I figured they tried to steal the letter at the same time.
I don't think it was the same one.
Which means we have money. So dessert and coffee and maybe a little something else at the Palazzo.
The palazzo?
See, I have some protections. I like my privacy.
Then I believe you've had the best idea yet.
Amor, miei amici. Vieni qua.
Movie.
I reach out to touch the table at that spot. Do I feel anything there?
Yes. I mean, the actual table itself feels quite chilled, and yet right over where your hand is placed, there's a very warm spot. It is almost too hot to keep your hand there for a second, and then it just goes to room temperature.
And do I recognize this magic?
Because of your particular background, absolutely.
Okay.
This is of the spirit world. This is not sorcery. What you saw right there was an unintended consequence that sometimes when magics are pulled, they evoke things that they did not intend.
Okay. As I not here. Not here. I'll tell you, but we should go.
Then It's been a long night. Why don't we all return to the Contessa's home?
Yeah, I think so.
And she stands up, and for the first time, and since you guys met her, she has a very serious look on her face. And she'll help Elise up. Let's go, everyone, quickly.
You go on ahead. I'll keep an eye out for anyone trying to follow us, and I'll follow through after.
I don't particularly suggest that, though you are a man, free to do what you wish. All right, then.
I remember the way. It's the third gondola on the left.
That's not what I'm concerned about. And she'll lean into the professor. There are forces here at play that you do not understand yet, Professor.
Oh. I'll be careful. I'm a man of observation.
You can't observe what you cannot see.
I can deduce.
Right then. Everyone else?
Before we go, I will pick up that scale and take it. And then I will join Ekaterina and the rest of the gang, heading towards turning out.
Is Jacer carrying the key?
No, Jacer thanked Katerina and, just said that.
No, thank you, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just clarifying for me. Well, in that case, the Contessa would sidle up next to Jacer again. So, and she kind of flounce out her skirt as she walked in what looks like a very natural motion for somebody who's standing up, but also gives, widening her area of bubble. Does that make sense? Trying to kind of discern if there's anything in her way, if there's anyone following them, visible or not.
Your presence.
I have to try and, not be entirely upstaged by your fine performances.
I assure you, if you are on a stage, all anyone would want to do is watch.
You always say the nicest things. But I know who the real A-class performers are, you and Elise. I'm quite looking forward to your performance. Sit.
See.
As they're walking, I'm assuming everyone's kind of keeping an eye out for shady characters or ghastly
Children. At the
children.
corner of my eye.
What's the perception suit?
Diamonds.
Ooh.
Let me see if I
Hey, can I play a card on that perception, Chris?
If you want to work together.
Well, I was just gonna try, because she's trying to see, what she was doing in general.
Yeah. We're just looking around.
If you're going to do it as a group effort, you can do that.
The perception team.
Is it normal rules for helping where it's the lowest card?
Well, because we have a larger group, we'll go with the highest card and the lowest base ability.
So what about that card?
Okay, so that's a 14.
I'm average.
I'm good.
All right, so I think average is our lowest base ability.
I think average is the lowest because I'm great.
Yeah, you are.
So that'll be an 18. Does anybody want to play a Deuces Wild and make it a 20?
I don't have any left.
I think I have one. I'll do it.
Okay.
Why not?
So we'll have a nice round 20 for our perception. As you all make your way, you will find yourself noticing quite a few things going on. There is someone who seems to keep their eyes on you, but it is not who you might think it is. Instead, it is it's the professor watching you leave to make sure that you all get away just fine. I'm trying to hand Deirdre a card and roll 20 because I gave it to the wrong person. There we go. You'll also notice that there is a heaviness to the air that seems to follow you. You do not see any more specters, but between Jasser's story and the boy, there seems to be a weight that lingers. Is there anything in particular, other than odd sensations or people following you, that you were looking for?
On the walk?
Yes. Or the gondola ride, all the way back to the piazza.
I no longer see this boy out of the corner of my eye.
You do not.
Can I, and this is a really weird request and it depends on how magic works here. You said that the air feels heavy, but let's see how I can phrase this. As somebody whose magic is based in weaving, and I weave the threads that are kind of interconnecting all of life, does that realm which you access, like, do the threads of all of life, do they seem okay? Does something seem amiss, right beyond that veil into
They
sorcery?
are not as vibrant as you're used to seeing them. They are dulled, darkened in their shades.
And it still lingers?
Yeah, similar to some sort of dark presence that's lingering. You've seen it before when there have been curses and other things that back home. You wouldn't say it's at that level, but it's a similar kind of effect.
Okay.
Alicia, what did you pick up at the table?
Are we back in private quarters where we will not be overheard?
Yeah, I would have waited, but I don't know if we're still walking.
So while you all are making your way back
Downtown.
to the piazza, we're going to pick up with Professor Thayer.
No answers for you.
What? Hi.
Hello, Professor.
Hello.
Where do you go first?
I was frantically Googling a map of Venice.
No, but I mean, where does the professor go first?
First, he would go back to his hotel room.
Ah, yes. And give me a 1, 2, or 3, please.
A 1, 2, or 3? I'm going to go with 3.
Okay. Your excursion for the evening is going to lead you to a different part of Venice. It'll be not the most upper class, because when you learned of this person, you learned that she was of the paranoid sort. And she only kept high-quality fakes in her actual residence. Everything of hers of value she kept locked away in a vault in a warehouse.
Okay.
So, your mark for the evening, one Madame Cora Chillums.
How'd you spell that?
First name is Cora, C-O-R-A.
Mm-hmm.
Last name is Chillums, C-H-I-L-L-E-M-S.
Oh, okay.
She is not Venetian, but she married into a Venetian household. When her spouse mysteriously passed away, she became quite paranoid. She took her maiden name, believing that her husband was cursed. Or I should say, reclaimed her maiden name, believing that her husband was cursed. And moved all of the valuables, or things that she valued, to this location. What is step 1 in the book of Thayer's B&E?
I would have one question for you before then.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have been able to determine what exactly is in that warehouse? Are any of the belongings stored there? Would some of them, or I doubt it's all of them, but would have belonged in life to her dead husband?
Some, yes.
Okay.
But not all. Most of what belonged to her dead husband, or solely to her dead husband, she gave back to his relatives.
Oh, okay.
She kept the home. She kept much of what they had when it came to mundane items. But things of note that were family related, she gave back. Anything that they had acquired together, she claimed as her own.
Okay.
And anything that she brought with her as part of the dowry, she reclaimed as her own.
All right. Well, then, the first step would be to, as he's probably done during the day before, but to case the warehouse again, see if there isn't any changes in security measures or people that could act as witnesses that I would have to get rid of on the streets, like beggars or, not necessarily like walkers or people that just happen to pass by. Like, these will most likely not stay in place. But if there's anyone that could potentially tell on Thayer, he's going to go and see them first.
There is not. We are going to say that Professor Thayer used the goodwill of the police to clear out riffraff from a number of different places throughout the city that he noticed when he made comment of how they must be so busy since there are so many squatters throughout such a fine city. And he was hoping that he could help them alleviate some of that workload so that way they could take care of some of the more mundane things, like vagabonds and loiterers. It sort of bothered the captain, and they cleared out a large number of them, putting them up either in halfway houses or locating their families or whatever it might be to alleviate that issue.
All right. Then in that case, we're going to look for points of entry.
As you had scoped out before, there are some high windows. There are the main, like, wagon doors and truck doors, depending on what sort of mechanical creatures they use. There are two human doors, person doors, one at the back, one at the front. And there is none of the windows that are at the ground level open. It's only the ones up near the roof line that open.
And I doubt any of them are currently opened.
Well, let's see what the cards have to say. And we will see how random we can be. No, none of them seem to be open, though you're pretty sure that with the right touch, they could be unlocked and open. They're not very complicated windows in your experience.
We haven't established what his gear was. But seeing how he's good at tinkering, and probably is, as part of the things he brought with him, would you say a small grappling gun?
Sure. Sounds like fun.
All right. Because then what he would do is hoist himself up to the roof line.
Okay.
And while hanging from the rope...
What's his marksmanship?
What?
What's his marksmanship?
Average.
Okay. And his athletics?
Athletics is good.
Okay. And they're both clubs. Do you
Yes,
have a
they
club
are.
you'd like to play?
I will play a 6 of clubs.
Excellent. So, it's not a complicated shot. You make it quite deftly and make your way up the rope without much trouble at all. Well, you'll get to the window at that point. And at the window, are you going to tinker your way in? Or are you going to reconnoiter first?
Reconnoiter first. And also would like to know how the window opens normally before he attempts anything.
It comes out. There is a simple lock that's just a turn, kind of like latch. And if you can flip it open, it'll just pull outward. There's enough grip on the external part of the frame that you wouldn't have to worry too much about damaging or leaving any marks behind, as long as you are, average or better.
The latch, what material is it made of?
Probably just a rough kind of iron contraption.
Okay.
From what you can see, it's kind of dark. But inside, you'll notice there is a large safe in the middle of this warehouse. Nothing else seems to be around it. No persons, no nothing. And I would say actually less of a safe and more of a vault.
Okay.
Something you could walk into. About the size of a, let's say a small, well, it's about the size of a van in its total length, but tall enough that you could walk in and out of it. So,
Are we saying like similar to the vaults that were on the train last season?
About twice that depth.
Oh, okay. Oh boy. All right.
And a little bit wider.
Okay. Then he would, with another gadget he has, which is a magnet, put the magnet on the glass where the latch is and unlatch the window.
Excellent. And give me
Do
a
magnets
tinkering.
work through glass?
Well, what is your base tinkering? Let's see how well you can work your magnet magic.
It's good.
Good. Would you like to play a card?
Sure. Tinkering is diamond.
Yes.
So I'll play one of my lucky 7.
Okay.
So 7 plus 6, that's 13.
And you flip the latch without any real to-do. And you can easily just slide the window open. The moonlight glints off of the glass a little bit as it starts to tilt upward. And you can slide right on in.
There were no signs of like the light of the dim light of a lantern anywhere, or a candle or anything like that.
Inside, just the shadows and the moonlight streaming in from the upper windows at this point.
Good. He will delicately land on what I assume is like a catwalk or something of the sort on the second floor.
Yep. There is no second floor. There's just a catwalk that goes around the edge.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
And he would lower himself down with the grappling hook again.
So you're going to pull it from the roof?
Yeah, pull it from the roof. Bring it.
And lower yourself down.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, before he does so, he is going to close the window and latch it back shut.
Okay. You have successfully locked yourself inside.
Time to go down to the vault.
You make your way down to the vault.
What kind of lock is there?
Oh, this looks like a bank safe style vault.
Something Thayer would have probably encountered before.
Okay. And if not, consulted on many occasions.
And are there any sort of alarm systems? I doubt there's a poison trap on a vault in a thingy, a warehouse, but like something that would activate if the vault was tampered with, like on a wrong combination or something.
On the vault itself, nothing that you notice, nothing from any of the experience or books or catalogs and whatnot. There's nothing of that nature.
Okay.
But you do remember when you came down that there does seem to be an alarm on every single door and window at the ground floor.
Good enough. I will make sure to not trip one of them.
And what you actually picked up on, because it was dark, was the wires that were going to these bells at the second level near the windows.
Wait, beat that?
That's what caught your eye.
Okay, that's how I know it's protected or secured, because I saw the wires going.
Yep, and you saw the
Crisscrossing.
bells by the window, and you're like, hey, wait a second, that's an alarm bell. It's high enough up here so it'll echo out, through the upper windows. And then you noticed, kind of saw the lines, and they all seem to go to the ground floor entry points. None of them are attached to any of the upper entry points.
And is it feasible to maneuver around all of these wires?
Oh yeah,
when I'm inside? Okay.
Yeah, they're all on the walls. None of them are impede you.
Okay, I thought they were like crisscrossing across
No,
the warehouse.
No, not at all. This is all very. They have put all of their efforts into the most likely entry points to deter common thieves. They did not seem to put much, if anything, into deterring a professional.
Then I will inspect the vault door. Look at how the mechanism works. It's a like a combination, like an actual vault door with.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
I will whip out my stethoscope. And begin cracking the safe.
Okay. And what would you like to play for that?
That's a good question. Because I'm feeling for like the auditory clues. So part of me would say perception. Because it's basically just listening to the click, 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 and then knowing when to stop when you hear the different sound. Or even the vibes, the vibration coming from the lock. Do you think perception would work?
I think it can, absolutely.
Then I will play perception.
Okay.
And
that is a diamond.
I will burn another 7 because I realized that I don't have diamonds.
Okay.
So my perception's an 8. Great.
Okay. So that's a 15.
Yeah. And just to make sure, I'll use a Deuce's Wild.
Okay. So a 17.
Yeah.
Excellent. As you turn the dial, you will find the combination. The first time that you spin it through, you pick up on the fact that there are not 3, but actually 5 tumblers.
Oh, God.
And it takes you a little bit longer than some because of the extra tumblers involved. And you will get to the combination in due time. And the latch, or you can hear the mechanism unlock. The door itself kind of lurches, and you can hear the hiss of hydraulics as it swings open about 3 feet. Inside, lights illuminate. Gas lamps. And what you find, we will explore next week on Adventures in Castle Falkenstein.
No! Oh, well, thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, chat. Thank you so much for all the subs, the donations, the follows, the level 5 hype train. What the I think I've only had one such hype train before, so thank you for breaking the previous record. Thank you to all of you watching on YouTube. It's always greatly appreciated to know that we have fans on the other platform. Thank you to all of our sponsors, beginning with our newest, Artalsorian Games, the makers of Castle Falkenstein. You can find them at artalsoriangames.com. Check out as well Conspiracy in the Stars, the new adventure being kickstarted by Mage Press, our other sponsor, or if you're interested in anything that they've done before, or even if you want to purchase the Dark Matter sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, check out store.mageandpress.com or use the panels down below or the link in chat and use code WanderingDM to get 15% off. As well, check out Found Familiar at foundfamiliar.com for some good coffee. You can use code WanderingDM for 10% off. And if you order for $50 or more of coffee, you get free shipping. And thank you to our sponsor, Roll20 Virtual Tabletop, that we've been playing cards on all night. And thank you so much to our partners, Level Up Dice. And thank you, players, for coming. Who are you? Let's go around the table. Tell us. If you have anything to plug, go right ahead. The chat is yours. The mic is yours. We'll begin with Adriana.
Hey everyone, like Simon said, my name's Adriana. I play lots of games, but I'm gonna be a little selfish tonight and promote myself because I am an artist and my commission's just open. So if you like art, you like busts of characters of yourself, check me out on Twitter and see what I got. See if you like it. If you want to help a struggling student out, go and commission me for a bust. So that's what I'm gonna say tonight.
Kenny.
Hi, I'm Kenny. You can find me on Twitter at PunderDrone. When I'm not playing with this magnificent group of people, I am on the Experience Points channel. You can find us on Twitter at EQ Points. This coming Saturday, I am narrating a Starfinder game, and we are playing the Dawn of Flame Adventure Path. We're on AP2. And every other Sunday, we play Numenera. So come by, check us out. Love to see you.
Pooja, sorry.
No worries. Hi, I'm Pooja. You can find me at Twitter at Pooja and on Instagram at Pujabberwocky. And aside being here with these fine folks on Mondays, I can be found, actually I'll be going back starting tomorrow on the Manapot Studios channel on their Tuesday Flights of Fandom show, where we do one-shots or short campaigns in all sorts of different verses of which we are fans. So tomorrow is going to be a Mass Effect one-shot, and starting next Tuesday we'll be doing a 6-week Star Wars campaign. And then besides that, every other Friday I'm on the Manapot Studios Constantinople by Night Vampire the Masquerade game. So check your local internets. I will be there.
Chris.
Oh, thank you again for a wonderful evening, everyone. My name is Chris Geary. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Geary. On Fridays, you can find me back here on Wandering DM as I reprise my role as Mr. White, aka Dr. Frost, the trauma team surgeon slash guy who knows a guy and sometimes has a bad temper on Cyberpunk Red. And then here's the host of Adventures in Castle Falkenstein on Mondays. There is movement with Omens Rising, a little bit slower than I had first kind of hinted at. So I'm not sure exactly when I've got something to reveal, but it's coming, I promise, eventually. So look for it. If you are intrigued, you can look for at Omens Rising on Twitter. That is me and our project. And we will be announcing things on that particular platform to begin with.
And Deirdre.
Oh, hey, all. You know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter. Praxagorath has me Euphoria. See me around on Twitch. And I love you all. I love this game. I'm all here for it. I can't wait to see what happens next week. But as for me, you can find me Wednesday over on Laugh Love Lindy's channel for some more Witcher Family of Wraiths, because there's curses, there's banshees, there's people who's been died, whose soul's been forced into banshees. It's a time. It's a time. And then back here Thursday for Thirsty Thursdays, and Verisa Verisa hasn't been making friends. She's been trying, but apparently she doesn't make friends well. Although Zevran likes her, so there's that. Then back here Friday, with my dear friend Chris for some more Cyberpunk Red, and Trin's complicated romantic relationships are coming to the front, and family drama. It's great. It's all great. And then back here Saturday, because I get to run the drama on Saturday for Black Flag. And there are consequences to people's actions. Just happens that way. But other than that, check my Twitter because I was supposed where I'm going to be, all the fun people I get to hang out with, all the fun stories I get to tell, and all the great things that happen. And I will see you next week.
And I don't need to advertise anything going on this channel because Deirdre and Chris did it for me. But if you come here on Friday, this Friday, because last week I was way too exhausted to GM anything, but I don't know why I'm pointing with like a plastic bit, like I'm like pointing with a piece of chalk. Will unveil the brand new intro video that was made by Displacer Rat for Cyberpunk Red. It's a 3-minute long intro with awesome music and even more awesome 3D things added to it. Anyway, it's a thing. So come around, check it out on Friday. It'll be at 8 o'clock. That said, we also have a Patreon. We're going to have our monthly workshop on August 30th. And the August encounter of the month, which right now is a tie between a social encounter or a D&D level 20 combat encounter. So if you would like to get your hands on that, everything is in all of the previous Patreon exclusive rewards are all available. Check out patreon.com/wanderingdm. That's it. We're done. Let's have a good night. Let's go rest. And have a good rest of week, everyone. Bye-bye. Yay, the frames are bigger, so when we wave, we don't have to put our hands in front of our faces.